Hello, everyone. I think you heard some sentence somewhere that says that machine learning is the next big thing for mobile app development. So let's check that together. Last year at WWDC, Apple launched a tool named CoreML, that are tools that build machine learning model. And this year, they launched a tool that called CreateML that can train machine learning model. I'm an iPhone app developer. I'm not a data scientist or mathematician or something like that.
Okay.
And when I see that, I ask me, is it really for me? Can I do that by myself? So I installed the macOS Mojave beta, download some random folder from the web with flowers and drag and drop to Xcode, and just works. But it's not the topic of my talk because machine learning on flowers is not a real use case. Today we will speak about real data for real user experience. And is it possible to do that for mobile developer and not for data scientist specialist? So let's start with 7 tips about machine learning for mobile developers. The first point is one machine learning thing is really easy to use. It's image classification. Machine learning can do a really lot of custom stuff, but today the only easy to use feature is for image classification. What's image classification? Just think about a large amount of pictures, well ordered in some folders. You train that on your Mac, and then your phone on your Mac can just select the perfect folder for new unknown images. In machine learning, we don't speak about folders, but about classes. And one more point is that the machine learning model don't choose just one folders. He ordered all the folders by probability, and the sum of probability is 100% every time. So first point is machine learning is not for data scientists. Today, with CreateML, is as easy as a drag and drop. Let's talk about my personal use case. I built a car rental app called Virtuo, and one of the painful steps in a car rental process is the damage report in this paper. Since 2 years, instead of the classic paper process, I replace that with a phone. On your phone, you select in a list a zone on the car, and then you take a picture of the damage, and that's it. All this process is in a car park, so without data. So you have to do that in offline mode. The question is how to improve that with new machine learning stuff. So with that, I have a data set. My data set is 40,000 pictures, 60 gigabytes of data from the same types of car, with the same set of colors, with the same luminosity, basically no light, and already classified by my user. So I have a well-unified data set. It's really easy to train that with machine learning. How it looks, here you have a folder of fenders, rear fenders, scratch. Here you have wheels, front right wheels. And the beginning of machine learning is always that, just folders of pictures. I think you already have a data set somewhere on Amazon S3 bucket. There is plenty of image in your company. And if you don't have that, you maybe should have that. The first step is to have some data. How to build an app with this machine learning? First idea is just to build an app like that. I take the picture and let the magic happen. It works. It's a front alloy wheel. But in real life, it doesn't work because of accuracy of the model. If I do that, only 1 per 3 pictures is correctly classified. Why? Let's look about this particular image. Here, I think the problem is a scratch on the fender. You can see the scratch, but maybe it's the wheel. It's on the picture, or the tire, or the grass trap. It's not really to see, as a human, where is the problem. So if I don't select the first result for machine learning, but a list of the five-step results, I have really better results. So I change my app and use this new user interface. I take a picture and propose to my user the best results for these pictures and to choose between all these zones. But what happens if the model gives me really strange results? I can choose between a fender, a gas trap, and a wheel, but I can choose, it's not a roof, it's really not a roof. So my app can't show that. So I need a new matrix to check that, to check if it works. I name it top n from n. The point is, if I have 4 possible results, 4 acceptable results, I just check in my model, in the top 4 results of my model, and I count how much of the results are here. So with that, I can measure the performance of my model. Remember, don't trust the result of the model, just use it as a hint. One big problem with my specific use case is car symmetry. It's really difficult to differentiate a left door to a front door. It's quite the same thing. And you can see that with that. Here, we have a lot of wheels, all from the right side of the car. Some wheels come from the front wheel of the car, and some from the rear wheel of the car. Can you detect here which one is which one? I think no, and the answer is here. Here are the front wheels, the other are rear wheels. It's quite impossible to detect which one is which one. So when you face that, the only solution is you merge your folders, to merge your class, to improve the result of the machine learning model. And if they do that, I improve significantly all my metrics, and my model has better result. So merge classes, and if you can see it, machine learning can see it. To go further, I have another app, a second app, called Virtuo Partners. It's an app for people who wash the car, who clean the car after your rental, and that recheck every damage you declare. These guys are professional, so they take better pictures than you, and they do better classifications than you. What happens if I only build a model on pictures taken by professionals? It's a bad idea, because performance are worst. Why? What if I use the real customer pictures, but with the classification made by the professional after that? Here, I can improve my model and get better performances. So clean your data. It's important. You can improve the performance by cleaning your data, but do that carefully. What about the CreateML alternative? I speak a lot about CreateML. The main alternative of CreateML is TensorFlow from Google. It's the most popular one. And TensorFlow is not really like CreateML. It's not a monolith solution. There is mainly 2 ways to train an image classifier with TensorFlow. The 2 ways are Inception v3 and MobileNet. Inception v3 has really good performances, really like CreateML, but build a model that is really big, 80 megabytes, and it's not really built for mobile. MobileNet is a mobile natively built version. It's really good in standard performances, but you can see if I want to present a list of results to my user, they present really strange results, so I can use it like that. So CoreML produces a model with the size of a mobile net model, but with the performances of an Inception V3 model. So it's a really good tool, use it. To sum up, machine learning is not only for mobile developer too, it's not only for data scientists. You already have a data set somewhere, or you should have one. Don't trust your results, use it as a hint. If you can see it, machine learning can see it, so merge your class to improve the performance of the model. Clean your data, but do that carefully, because you can do worse than that good. Use CreateML is a really great tool. And last but not least, drive safe. If you crash your car on the road, neither me or machine learning can save you. And with this kind of pictures, I can detect anything in that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mathieu.
And download my app. It's a cool app.
If you need a car. So, is this in production yet?
It's not in production. We have a test flight version, a beta version with this kind of product. We try to do that firstly with a TensorFlow model, but it doesn't work as good for production. But with CreateML, we can do something good for production.
So you plan to?
Yeah, just a point for that. CreateML is only on macOS Mojave, and macOS Mojave is in beta since Monday, I think.
Yeah, true. You don't want to put in production something.
Do you have feature parity between Android and iOS? So in that case,
in that case, it's not the target. We can improve the user experience only on iOS if it's okay.
Okay.
We can do other cool stuff for Android in parallel.
Not as cool.
And merge user experience later when Google TensorFlow will be better.
Okay.
Yeah, but I really like this approach, and I think it's really interesting to see what you said during your talk, that seeing the results of what the ML could bring to you, like the results of the classification, changing the UI could transform like a result that is quite poor into a real feature that it can help the user by just adding more choices to more suggestions to the user. Instead of proposing one name, you propose 5, and then it's then useful.
Yeah, I think you don't have to include machine learning thing in your app just for the technical stuff.
To the force.
Yeah, it's really here to improve the user experience, and you have to have that in mind for every feature. And machine learning can really help user experience. In that case, the paper process is so boring, so I have to find something to improve that.
And what's the feedback of the beta testers?
Really interesting. They doesn't know first time how it works, and it's too magical for some guys. So it's the only problem today, but it works well.
Ah, interesting. The kind of feature that is like, if the user doesn't really understand how it can work, doesn't even understand that it can exist, it's hard to educate them.
And what happens if you shoot a photo of something which is not in your classes? Let's say somebody shoots a photo of a sheep and sends it to your app.
It's a big problem about that. I train my model with a limited set of classes, and the model forces the new images, the unknown image, to enter in one of these classes. So if I take a picture of you and take to the model, the result should be a fender, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say that too. And who came up with this idea Like, did you or did your product management came with that idea?
For that particular feature,
Yeah.
I think the idea come from me because of the Apple release and Apple communication about that. I think it's something coming from the technical team and not the product team, but with building some proof of concept and giving them to the people on the team, we can build something cool.
And do you think that's the kind of feature that Apple would like feature in the App Store? I'm not saying you've done that for that reason, but
I hope.
you hope. Okay. And how do you see the future of machine learning?
I think today for mobile developer we can only do some simple stuff like image classification, but other apps like Facebook do more. They're changing the order of the button and if the button is hidden or not in the bottom bar. And I think in 3 or 4 years, we can have app really different on offline mode between each user, and maybe more in 10 years, maybe the machine learning or the IA can replace the need to build an app, to code an app, and build an app for us.
Yeah, it will be off work. I really wonder what CreateML or Apple ML is going to do. Is going to be in 10 or 20 years.
Yes.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So thank you
very much.
Thanks.